Hello YouTube, this is Pinchio8 here looking back at my 1 to 400 scale on Gemini Jets Airport. Yeah, I'm still using this old terminal as you can see. As you can see, we were here yesterday doing my September update of the JetBlue Terminal 5 out of JFK. And as a bit of a disclaimer, I just want to say I kind of did realize I messed up on two things. One of them was that I forgot to give a destination to the NYPD livery, and I almost forgot to bring in the retro livery, which I was going to send to Salt Lake City. So, just to give you a heads up on that disclaimer, but that's what this video is about. As you can see, for the first time, I have a lot of different airplanes now lined up at this airport, but this is not an airport update of any kind, no. In fact, I'm going to get straight into the big announcement right now. Project JAX, which stands here for Jacksonville, is now officially in the works. So that means I am officially getting ready to model the airport here in Jacksonville, Florida, known as Jacksonville International Airport. The airlines that serve here include JetBlue, Delta, United, Frontier, Southwest, Allegiant Air, Spirit Air, American. Although, I'm not sure if I can remember all of the airlines, because here's how the airport system is working. The airport is currently, as of now, divided into two concourses. Going in this direction over here is what's known as Concourse A, and going in this direction here is what's known as Concourse C. I remember at first Jacksonville used to be a 3-concourse terminal. They are still planning ahead to rebuild that third concourse, but it had to be put on hold due to the pandemic and all. So hopefully when the brand new concourse, which is known as Concourse B, is officially finished and reopened, it'll either bring in some narrow bodies or a few heavies to provide international flights from here. I'm also hoping that 2 of the various airlines would return to Jacksonville that has flown here, including Air Canada Express and Silver Airways. But let me get to how it is right now. So a long time ago, the old 3-concourse terminals had been torn down and has now been turned into a 2-concourse terminal, with Concourse A going to the right and Concourse C going to the left. Concourse A houses JetBlue, United, Delta, and Frontier. Concourse C houses Southwest, Allegiant, Spirit, American as well. And remember, that used to be where Air Canada is, so I think there's probably about 4 airlines as of now per concourse. And apparently I don't have anything for United Airlines yet. They use United Airlines mainline fleet and United Express, the regional fleet. And then there were about 3 gates for Southwest as I'm lining them up here. You'd have a gate for Southwest here, as well as here and here, which are known as gates C1, C2, and C4, while gate C3 here is currently occupied by Allegiant Air. Spirit is supposed to also share a gate with them, but Spirit doesn't go to that many destinations. I'm hoping if that does happen someday, they would go to the vacant C5, which is still vacant. And right where Silver Airways used to fly out of, which is known as gate A1, that's where Frontier Airways goes. Across the way, there's gates A2 and A4, which houses JetBlue. And then there's gates A7, A9, and A10, which are for United Express and the mainline fleet. And then the rest of the gates are for Delta. So as you can see, I've got a lonely Delta 757-200 here, which is one of their oldest releases. Unfortunately, as a disclaimer, as you can see, one of the engines is kind of bent inwards. I think that's the left engine from a different angle like that, but it's really hardly that noticeable. You may have seen it when I did my Atlanta airport updates, but a lot like Gemini Jets 13, I'm also going to give Atlanta a bit of a break because I need more Delta planes than ever. I am in the works of getting another Delta 757-200 without the winglets. as well as the Delta A220 100 and 300. In fact, as of now, with this pandemic going on, the only destinations that Delta serves are commonly Atlanta with 757-200s and 300s, and New York's JFK on an A220 100, or probably soon an A220 300. And then for JetBlue, they serve Boston, JFK, Fort Lauderdale, and now Newark. They used to serve Washington Reagan, but for some reason that route was unfortunately discontinued. So I hate to hear about that. And then Frontier would serve about 2 destinations, which would have been at gate A1 right here, which I don't have Frontier yet. I am working on getting it though. Whether it be an A320 or A320neo, it works the same way. Frontier usually yearly would go to Philadelphia, and then during peak season times seasonally, also Trenton, New Jersey. I forget if there were other destinations that they used to go to. And then this is my very first time having a Southwest 737 in the brand new Heart livery, as you can see, which is a 737-700. And man, due to the fact that this is as of now a really, really rare model, it cost me a lot of money. It's a good thing I was able to make an offer off of eBay. And I've got this Allegiant A319 when it was first announced. I am still going to think of getting more Allegiant A319s and 20s. I remember flying Allegiant back in 2009 when Allegiant was an all MD-80 series fleet. They used to also have 757s too for flights to Hawaii from Las Vegas and California, but now that's all gone. So as of today, Allegiant is an all A319 and 20 carrier, especially while Southwest continues to be a carrier of 737s. It's sad that Southwest retired their older 737, like the 737-300 and 500. That would have done very, very well. I'm glad the sunshine is starting to change a little bit. As you can see, the rays of light reflecting off the blinds I have on this window. But it still looked pretty good. So yeah, this is my very first Heart livery. I have already purchased a Southwest 737-800 in this livery, by the one by NG Models in the Scimitar winglets. I will eventually get the Canyon Blue in the Scimitar winglets and the regular winglets as well. And I don't know if I'll ever get the Gemini ones or not. And I also really got to get that Southwest Florida 1 livery as well as the Triple Crown 1 livery. I do have other Southwest planes here to represent how it works. I've got the old Shamu livery here, and one is a Canyon Blue livery. I can't get this one for some reason to, well, sit on its nose anymore. In fact, this is one of my oldest Southwest 737-700s. In fact, what makes it so old is the fact that it actually came out like around 2003 or 2004, just when this aircraft of the 700 series of 737s was getting popular, as well as this livery being Canyon Blue. But what makes it so different, if you're able to see really, really closely, if I could just get the camera to focus, I think that's probably good enough. If you're able to notice really, really closely, it doesn't say Southwest.com on the winglets yet, because that wasn't a thing back then just yet, where it would say Southwest.com and all. So I am trying my hardest to get a Southwest 737 in this beautiful Canyon Blue livery that does say Southwest.com on it. But due to the fact that this is the older releases of it, it doesn't say Southwest.com like it would. And the wings are actually bolted on a little bit differently if you're able to see from under here. I don't know why the image is a little bit blurry. I'm trying to work on it, getting a better image of it. So yeah, you can see right where the blue is on the Canyon Blue winglet colors. There's no Southwest.com saying on it, because this is how it looked before they painted Southwest.com on the winglets. So I could think of keeping this plane. It's still really my most treasured thing. And it is also sad to say that unfortunately Southwest doesn't have these Shamu liveries anymore, looking like an orca whale. These were really, really cool. But unfortunately, Southwest had a contract with SeaWorld and now it's expired, so all 2 or 3 of these aircrafts are now repainted, and one of them could be in Canyon Blue or in this brand new Heart livery. I don't know how. And then this is not Gemini Jets. This is actually manufactured by Herpa. Now taking a closer look here at the brand new Heart livery I got. And since this is a newer release, I like this one the most because you can really get the most of its detail. I got an antenna on the top, as well as a Wi-Fi antenna, and you got another one on the bottom. Name a few or so. I'm glad Southwest decided to change their liveries like this to where it says Southwest on the side of the fuselage rather than usually on the tail. So good for them. Oops, wrong side. I almost had it wrong. And all I got here for JetBlue as an example would be 2 barcode tails, including barcode E190, which as of now provides service to Fort Lauderdale. They would use these for Boston flights as well due to low demand, but demand is getting higher, so Boston and JFK is served on A320s like these, and I think Newark is going to be served on the E190 as well. As of now with Delta, the only flights to Atlanta are on 757-200s. They also used to have them on the MD-88s and MD-90s before they retired, but they are now retired. So I think Atlanta will be served primarily on either 757-200s and occasionally 300s, as well as sometimes during peak season A321s, in which I don't have any Delta A321s just yet, which I will eventually soon. I'm definitely working on that as much as I can. And I can't wait till they bring back other Delta destinations such as Detroit and Minneapolis. But for now, the only destination being served, as I mentioned on Delta, is only Atlanta and JFK. Oh, and I almost forgot LaGuardia. They could have done that. And so, as of now, this is one of the examples, the only examples I have of Spirit, which is in the rainbow crayon livery. I am also working on getting that brand new yellow Bearfair livery as an A320 or A320neo. I'm glad this livery still exists, but I don't know if you see it on A319s anymore. You do see it on A320s with or without sharklets. I can't believe, though, Aero Classics completely sold out of those. I don't know how, but a lot like Gemini Jets and the new manufacturer NG models, those things sell out like hotcakes. So Spirit would have been over here at gate C6, and then from gate C7 to C10 would be all American Airlines that we're looking at. And I'm glad I have had a few American planes. These two are by Aero Classics, including the A319 and A321. And not so long ago, I received some by Gemini Jets, including the 737-800, the E170, and the CRJ-700. Now, the destinations served by American Airlines include Charlotte, Philadelphia, Dallas-Fort Worth, Miami, and Washington Reagan DCA, apparently. And apparently, from what I've known, is that the only aircraft serving Washington DCA right now is the CRJ-700. And apparently, between the American E-170s and E-175s, their destination they primarily serve include Philadelphia, Miami, and sometimes Chicago O'Hare. Destinations served on the 737 would be between Charlotte and Dallas-Fort Worth. Dallas-Fort Worth is served on A321s as well as Charlotte. And Dallas can be served on A319s as well as Charlotte. So each of these planes are like kind of vice versa. So all 3 of these in the American fleet are new. These are my only Aero Classics ones. I do have a A320 with the sharklets made by Gemini Jets. I also do have an A319 with sharklets made by Aero Classics as well, but I just don't see those kinds of A319s being sent here to Jacksonville. And I gotta say, I'm glad I picked this on my 737 for the releases when they started adding the antennas and all. Of course, American doesn't have in-flight entertainment on any of their planes. If they did, there would have been the TV antenna right over here. I don't know, though. But I do like the communication antennas, nevertheless. Looks really, really excellent. I hope to get one someday if I find one in the One World livery. This is the regular E170, as you can see, with those standard winglets. I'm still having a hard time getting the E175 with the prominent winglets that are leaned outward a little bit. I hope I come across one of those soon, but the E170 still works, though. And then this is a really, really nailed one out of the park livery here with the CRJ 700, which I can send to either Charlotte or Washington Reagan. So far, as of today, I looked on Flight Radar 24, and I haven't seen any Washington Reagan flights just yet. But hopefully that will happen sooner or later. So yeah, I still have quite yet to get a few more planes, including more Southwests in the Canyon Blue and in the Heart livery, as well as some special liveries like the Triple Crown 1, which is still in the works, as well as the Florida one, which just came out. And I'm glad I have everything I need for JetBlue. I'm all supplied up for JetBlue, as well as Delta. But apparently I'm not supplied up properly for United yet. That's all in the works right now. So hopefully this all qualifies very well. So I hope you enjoyed this preview of pretty soon what's to come on my project airport modeling of Jacksonville International Airport here in Jacksonville, Florida. Can't wait to do it. It'll be very, very exciting. I'll be a lot like Red River Aviation, who models Tulsa, as well as Pensacola, and Albuquerque, and John Wayne, Orange County, as well as Dallas-Fort Worth. But the only major airport I like to model is just one terminal at JFK. But when I have all the Delta planes here, you would probably have seen I've only modeled that after Atlanta. So there you have it, my first update, Project JAX, JAX, as that's the airport code that all of our airplanes use. So there you have it. I'm glad I previewed a few models that I have and everything, and I hope this video does upload, because we're way past 15 minutes. I'm glad I got to share this talk with you, and as soon as I start getting more proper airplanes between United and Spirit and more Deltas and everything else, as well as Frontier, I will update y'all on that. So once again, thank you for watching Project JAX update number 1. So until next time, this is Kieran at Pinchy08, signing and pinching out. Take care.